The Ring of Gyges digital image. Close-up of an anonymous hand twirling an antique ring on a table. Quick cut to social media feeds. Endless scrolling. Notification sounds. Tense music. Let me tell you a secret as old as humanity itself. In ancient Greece, there was a legend, the Ring of Gyges. A simple peasant discovers a magic ring. All you had to do was turn it, and it would become invisible. With this power, Gyges could observe everything, king, court, neighbors, without ever being seen. Nothing was forbidden. Everything was within reach, and no one would know he was there. But centuries later, ask yourself, what if we all had one of those rings within reach of our thumbs today? How many people do you know who live in the digital shadows? Present everywhere but invisible in the feed. We live in the age of spectacle, where every story, smile, achievement, and even pain needs to be proclaimed. But there is also the age of modern Gyges. They observe, feel, love, dream, but they never turn the ring to appear. While the world reveals itself, they preserve themselves. Is today's invisibility a form of escape or silent power? And perhaps without you realizing it, Gyges is you. Plato asked, what would a man do if no one could see him? Because today, the question has changed. What remains of us when we choose not to be seen? In today's video, you'll understand why so many choose the shadows and how sometimes true freedom, clarity, and power reside there. The power of the ring, invisibility or freedom. Imagine for a moment that you possess a magic ring. By discreetly turning it, you can disappear in front of everyone. At the office, at that party, on your Instagram timeline. It's not just anonymity, it's absolute freedom. You observe couples arguing without noticing your presence, hear genuine and feigned smiles, and perceive nuances that would never surface for someone who was part of the scene. In the digital world, this power is real. It doesn't have to be literal. Hundreds of millions of people already live like Gyges, invisible amidst the noisy crowds, scrolling through feeds without ever posting, liking without leaving a trace, watching the world perform without participating in the spectacle. What would you do if no one could ever observe, judge, or limit you? What's your secret version? The one you never have to prove anything to anyone. But Gyges himself discovers that invisibility is also a choice that carries consequences. The young woman who stopped posting after a heartbreak and began to observe, notice, and write down details, and, in doing so, began to understand herself better than ever before. The executive who turns off notifications and doesn't participate in group chats is the first to notice the climate of exhaustion within the teams. In the power of invisibility, the autonomy of the gaze is born. Being invisible allows you to experience life without filters. The sweat on the face of the dancer, the tear on the child's face as they fall, the pride in the grandfather who remains silent about his memories. Freedom is not just external, it's internal too. In the absence of expectations from others, you can reinvent yourself. If nobody really knows about you, what do you start to discover? Behind the ring of Gyges, his gaze expands, or sinks. The price of silence. What are the benefits? What is lost? Invisible, Gyges can do anything. But at the same time, he is condemned to not be recognized. In the digital world, this becomes even clearer. What disappears from the timeline belongs only to you, but you too can experience the loneliness of the unseen. For some, silence is a comfort zone. For others, it's a reflection of fear, exhaustion, or a bad experience with judgment. People who have experienced hate, been misunderstood, or are simply tired of having to perform happiness. People who discover in their private lives a source of power and relief. But over time, one can feel the weight of anonymity. Like Gyges, each one can ask themselves, if no one applauds, is the achievement still worth the same? If no one reads this, is my rant real? What is gained, after all, in a pact of silence? Who do you become when the world exists only to be observed, never to validate you? This is where psychology comes in. Self-knowledge sometimes only arises in the absence of an audience. Suffering can intensify when there is no listening. Do you remain silent to protect or to preserve? And what do you miss, that pang of loneliness? Or that fleeting peace impossible amidst the sound of digital applause? Rebellion or healing? The symbolic meaning of disappearance. Plato doubted Gyges' intentions. Without external eyes, would it be free or dangerous? In the digital realm, rebellion has become an act of resistance, refusing the stage, escaping the loop of exposure, creating a life away from the lenses. Someone cooking, smiling alone, living scenes that will never be documented. The notification sound turned off, a feeling of relief. The girl who, after feeling the burden of competing for attention, gradually chose to disappear from social media and rediscovered the joy of being forgotten. And in that absence, found inspiration to write, create, and love in a different way. Rebellion becomes healing when it turns into a conscious choice. It is the power to take ownership of one's own fears and traumas, transforming silence into a space for rebirth. What kind of silence is this that refuses to give up on being whole? Have you discovered the miracle of being self-sufficient, without an audience, without likes, just through the feeling of truly being present? In some cases, disappearing is a matter of survival. For others, becoming invisible is finally living. A profound question for the viewer. What is the sacred secret that only you keep? What power does your invisibility give you? Ultimately, what is unseen may be what transforms us the most. To exist without a witness, the last teaching of the ring. The ring of Gyges is not just a myth but a metaphor, the art of existing in silence, with the courage to be whole even when no one is watching. The digital Gyges are hidden rebels, curators of themselves, survivors of the spectacle, those who rarely comment, who only share face-to-face, who wait for their coffee away from social media. Understand that intimacy is the only truth that doesn't need to be publicized. It is. The video ends with an invitation to you. It seems contradictory, but it's not for you to read and hear this on a social network. Try existing outside the timeline. Reflect on what no one will ever know, and celebrate the power of recognizing your whole self, even when there is no witness. Comment if you identified with this, and share the most transformative secret that only you experienced in the absence of witnesses. Share this with someone who needs the ring, and who, like you, has already discovered that invisibility can be freedom, peace, rebirth. Subscribe to the channel. Give yourself some time.